Hey guys, this is Shivanshu. I'm a content creator and filmmaker from the foothills of Himalayas, and today I'm going to be reviewing this film emulation plugin called Dehancer. So Dehancer is a film emulation plugin for editing softwares, and it's created by enthusiasts and scientists. It's an amazing tool set which can give your photos and videos a truly cinematic look. It's available for Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve, but today I'm going to be reviewing it for Premiere Pro. Now I'm not a colorist, so I won't deep dive into the working and science behind it, but this will be more like a first-hand perspective of a cinematographer and how it can help me create that, truly professional look. And this is actually at a very perfect time because I have plans to create a few short films, and this could really help me with it and my personal and commercial projects. Surprisingly, they mentioned that you have to be honest in the review, and a brand that is open to every form of feedback is a brand that trusts their product, and it got me even more excited about using it. So let's go over my grading process and how I grade my footages with Dehancer. So I have Premiere Pro opened up. One of my favorite shots because it captures emotions, colors, and some of the scenery. There's clouds popping out. So what I would usually do is I would create an adjustment layer because I don't like grading over the clip itself. So if you install Dehancer, it will appear in your effects panel. If you go to effects panel, type Dehancer under the video effects, it will come. And this preset is coming because I've been using it for a month now, so I've created my own presets out of it. So but I'll not be using the preset. I'll just drop Dehancer Pro over it, and there you go. So I'm not a colorist. I won't actually deep dive into all the tools. I'll just tell you what the tool does and how I use it to my effect. Basically, I go with my eye. I try to grade with what I like, and that's how I create my USP. So input. My clip was shot in S-Log, so it was not on Rec 709, so I'll just go ahead. I can choose my camera, and there's I think 130 or 140 profiles that you can select from. I think most of the cameras are there. Canon, DJI, even drone footages. So I graded a few of my drone footages from this. So I'll select my camera, Sony Alpha S3, S-Log 3, S-Gamma 3 Cine. And you can see beautiful Rec 709 profile has been pasted over this log. I'll try to compensate some exposure maybe. Okay, I like that. So difference is basically to remove any chromatic aberrations if you had while shooting. So I don't think I had any. It's important to enable difference if you have chromatic aberrations because this can really affect your halation and bloom tools, which we'll be discussing ahead. So for film, now this is where it gets exciting. There's lots of film profiles which you can choose from, Cinestil 5D. It's all about the look you are creating according to the vibe you want to create. If it's like a Fuji film, Instax camera, retro vibe, or even, some black and white look you want, you can get it there. This Astrum color negative also looks very nice. I'll be doing the Kodak Vision 3 50D because I like this the most. Now let's go to the film developer tool. So basically, film developer tool lets you, adjust the contrast. So we will enable it first and then try to, I like the contrasty look because I can add film grain later. So I'll just add a little bit of contrast. Okay, this looks beautiful. Gamma correction, my midtones, it's basically the exposure of my midtones. I like to keep it in the middle, somewhere like this. It affects the highlights and retains the midtones and the shadows. So I'll keep it to minimum. And if I want to add a color boost, okay, I'll just add a little bit because I like my footage colorful. All right. This is the film developer tool now. Now we are going ahead with compression. So compression is basically, if you want, it's basically retaining highlights. If you want to, it's all about highlights. I'll enable it. So I want to retain highlights, but I also want, for them to pop out a little bit. So just adjusting my white points, the tonal range, I'll try to bring back some highlights. All right, this looks good. Add color density. I don't want to mess around with it. Let's keep it 33. And impact again, I'll go back and just get my highlights popping out a little bit. Perfect, this is good. Now the expand tool, basically it affects the white and black points. So, I want to retain some of the black. This looks good to me for now. I'll come back to these tools again if I have to. Now print. So there's a few profiles that you can choose from. I like the Kodak Endura glossy paper. Now target white, you can even adjust this further if you want to. EV exposure, stuff like that. But I like to. Okay, let's try. No, this was a no. I like to keep it a little to the negative color density. So I don't want to, I want their faces to not look dull, and so I'll add a little bit of color. Saturation is perfect. Now this is where it gets exciting. This is the, the tones, the type of color you want for your footage. So let's see, we'll enable it. So I want a little yellow. I'll play around with greens. Okay, this is a beautiful greenish tint. I liked it, and then I can negate it with beautiful. Wow, I like this. Perfect. Now I can play around with the tones of the shadows. Right tones. I don't want to for it to look too okay. Highlights, I think let's leave them a little bluish because that's the natural color. Mid-tones I want neutral or a little towards the. Okay. I like this. This is good. So film grain is enabled by default, but if you want to change around with values, then you can. So you want it to be very subtle. So I think 35 mm 250 ISO 250 or 16 mm ISO 50 or 250 is a decent amount of film grain. Keep it subtle. Next is halation. I like to keep it 65 because I don't want to overdo it, or maybe even skip it altogether. So it depends on what you want. So I like the differentiation between the subject and the background it gives. So I keep it. Bloom is another beautiful feature. Like it pops out and flushes the highlights and creates this soft look that most films usually have, and I really like it. Now film breadth, I don't think I would need film breadth. It's basically that flickerish vibe you get on your films. Let's keep it. Gate wave is basically that vibration or a jitter the cinema cameras have. So overscan, it's basically, I don't think it has a lot of use for me personally, so I'll skip this. Vignetting, I think if you use ND filters or wide angle lenses, so you can remove vignetting in post through this. So, but I like this one. And monitor, you can use the monitor in between every tool to check like if you're overexposing something or underexposing something. Perfect. So this is the final look that I've got, and this is the before and the after. Before, after. And I think I like this look. I've kind of manipulated all the colors beautifully. I wanted it to have a dreamy vibe, and that's what I got. So this is my grading process. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, please drop them in the comment section below. And yeah, this is pretty much it. And then even you can export these LUTs and use them in your monitor when you're shooting. And this is it for my color grading process. So Dehancer also has a mobile app. Let's see how the app works. I'll try to grade some of my videos and photos that I could use as stories and create that unique aesthetic on my social media platforms. If you go to App Store, download Dehancer, get some amazing presets that have already been made by the Dehancer team. I think these are some of the best filters that I've used on a mobile. I've used a lot of phone editing apps. I'm honestly impressed right now. So either you can select these presets or you can individually grade them like we did for the video. So you get the film and then you go to the developer mode, adjust the contrast. Like that, you can even then crop it according to the source you want. So you want to put it as an Insta story, you can crop it like that. If you want to use it as a post, then you can crop it to 4:5. I think this is the best for Insta photos. So yeah, I mean, this looks pretty amazing. And then you can just go to export. So this is a paid app and it's available for a 7-day trial. Please go ahead and check it out and let me know how you liked it. So my honest review of Dehancer is that it's an extremely useful tool that you can use to streamline your editing processes, and as a run and gun artist, just have total control over the editing and color grading part. As a production house, you can streamline, you can work on a lot of projects simultaneously, because color grading is the most time extensive exercise in filmmaking. So yeah, I would definitely recommend Dehancer to all the budding artists and production houses that are starting up to really up their game in the market. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you have any suggestions, comments and critique, please let me know in the comments, and you have a great day.